Very nice. Yes, I was married for 10 years to an asshole. Thank you. That's how you got inducted. For those of you that are a little less familiar with me, I'm Anna. Nice to meet you all. All want to say hi? Hi. Love it. Love it. I also love going to meetings where people do that. It's nice. So I'm actually a perfectionist. I don't know who here in the crowd maybe knows a little bit about their sign. A couple people. All right. Any Virgos? See, that is Virgo energy right there. Right there. I am a total freaking perfectionist. The other thing that you should know about Virgos is we're ridiculously judgy. Am I right? We freaking love it. Actually, my boyfriend and I were born 5 days apart, so we are both Virgos. Yeah, exactly right, right? We have a lot of fun in our household. Like, our favorite pastime is to just judge people. And we'll just put on the TV and be like, what kind of shit talking can we do today? It's so much fun, it's great. As a matter of fact, a true story by the way, everything I tell on stage is always true. We were watching TV the other day and then I made a comment about something and he was like, wow, your judginess today is through the roof. Like it's way harsher than normal. And I look at him and I'm like, I think you just judged my judginess. So way to go him, extra points. And I think it's also, I can look at people and just kind of like identify things. Like one time when I was in college, I looked at this poor kid and I was like, don't take this the wrong way. I'm not trying to offend you or anything, but just by looking at you, I feel like you're the kind of guy that doesn't wash his feet. And then he says to me, what do you mean? And I was like, like you don't scrub your feet in the shower. And he's like, whoa, how'd you know that? I just stand in the soapy water. And I was like, oh, disgusting. I also don't like when people take off their shoes in the airport. That I think is filthy. Am I right? Yes. Yeah, thank you. And we can all collectively agree that that's gross. Like, let's just never do it again. So gross. I think also, by the way, in addition to being a Virgo, I'm very judgy because I grew up with my mom, who is probably the star judger, probably the judgiest person ever. Grew up in a very traditional Mexican household. And whenever we were getting ready to go out anywhere, just to leave the house, it didn't matter if it was the grocery store, she'd stop you at the door and she'd be like, Mija, where are your earrings? You could not leave without earrings, right? Yes, thank you. Because, and I quote, how will people know you're a girl? Yeah, good times. Yes, I hear you in the crowd, Latinas, I know. The fun thing though is that I'm only judgy about people, right? Not about dogs, because who could ever judge a dog? What kind of monster are you, right? I'll judge a baby any day. Any day that I'm like, wow, looks like an old man. All right. And you know what I'm talking about. You've seen those babies, right? You remember those glowworm toys we used to have in the 80s? You've seen them. They're weird. The other day my friend sent me a picture of her baby and I was like, how do I tell her in a nice way that it looks like E.T.? Yeah. But when you look at dogs, no matter how grotesque they are, they're still cute. I saw these pictures of the competition for the best underbite, and I was like, oh, look at that little monster. You're an abomination, but I love you. Yeah. Bulldogs, by the way, total abominations, weren't meant to, come into the world, but here we are, and I would love to have one. I do have a dog of my own. I'm a dog mom. Dog moms out there? Yep. And, really, as I became a dog mother, first of all, I had to acknowledge that I finally understood my own mother, right? Yeah. And I was like, Mom, I don't judge you anymore for any of your mistakes, because now that I'm a mom, she's like, Mija, that's not funny. It's not the same thing. And I'm like, oh, you don't understand. I gave birth to this dog. Like, he is my blood. You don't understand. And now, of course, she's gotten acclimated to him. She refers to him as her perrijo or perrinieto, which is basically like Mexican for, like in Spanish to say like my little, at this point, it is truly her grandson. I gave her a mug for Christmas that had his face on it. His name is Debo, and it just says, Debo's abuelita. Yeah. At first she was a little pissed, and then she was like, well. But my dog, though, it brings out a lot of things in me, and like, especially my anxiety. I feel like I'm a hypochondriac for my dog. Like, if he skips one meal, I'm like, oh my God, he's dying. Just, something's terribly wrong. It's horrible. We actually recently moved to a new house this year, and when we moved, they don't like transition, right? They don't like change. And for the first time ever, he ate his own poop. Gross, right? And I was like, I will not have this in my household. This is not how I brought you up. So I spoke to his trainer, and his trainer was like, look, it could be behavioral, it could be nutritional. Like, my best advice is put hot sauce on his poop so he doesn't want to eat it. Y'all, that shit works. I walked around my yard putting sriracha on turds. Whew. But like a day later, he was over it. He was like, no, Mom, I'm not touching that stuff. But yeah, he does bring a lot of anxiety out of me, like I'm always worried about him, and I'm like, did you drink enough water, my love? And you can't get a dog to like drink water. And when we first got him, we didn't really like know him that well. So I'm like rubbing his belly one morning, and I'm like, what's this bump? This feels like a growth or something. This is really scary, So I have my boyfriend touch it too, and I'm like, hey, what is this? And he's like, I don't know. It's kind of under the fur, like, if you're going to the vet today, may as well just get it checked out. I was like, yeah, good idea. Go to the vet that day. And the vet tech walks in, and I'm like, hey, do you want to, like, there's this growth on his belly, I'm not sure. So he feels it, and he's like, I'm pretty sure that's normal. And I'm like, normal? Do boy dogs have nipples? And he's like, yes ma'am, they do. Like, hey, you idiot. And I'm like, oh my God. And he's like, but look, let's just be safe. Like, I'm gonna take him back to the actual vet. We'll just make sure, whatever. About an hour and $400 later, right? The vet comes back in, and she's like, ma'am, that is a nipple. Wonderful. So, now I'm mortified, I'm broke, I get in the car, the dog's like, I'm so excited, it's a nipple. I call my boyfriend, and I'm like, honey, that thing on his belly? You would not believe it. It's a nipple. He's like, it's a nipple? Are you serious? And I was like, yeah, totally, that's what the vet said. And he's like, great. We've been rubbing it. And look, I'm not saying that, like, dogs are perverts, right? Like, maybe mine. I'm not sure. I can't say for sure. Like, he likes to watch me dress in the morning, which is weird. And like, he saw me like, holding up my bra one day, and he like sat in front of me and was like, ready to go, like we were going on a walk or something. And I'm like, what are you doing, bud? And then I'm like, oh, he thinks it's his harness. I mean, he's not totally wrong. It's mom's harness, but like, not for him. So, and then of course he likes to, kind of man spread. Like he does the thing where they like lay down on their back and they like spread out, which they say is like for safety or something. Like they think they feel really safe. I'm like, I don't care, buddy, you're man spreading. But I think it's so damn cute. I take pictures of it all the time and send it to my best friend, and my best friend's like, I'm tired of these dick pics. So, next time you see nipples on a dog, think of me. I'm Anna.